Volodymyr Zelenskyy has just admitted that his country, Ukraine, does not have the strength to push Russia out of their territory. Guys, welcome to the channel of the Modern Survivalists. Being better prepared is what we do here, and for that you have the channel with a ton of information already, as well as my books, Street Survival Skills and Surviving the Economic Collapse, available in the links down there below. So this is a point in which you have the president of Ukraine saying, we just can't do this. We just don't have the power. These guys, it is just too much of a country. It is too big, too rich, too many resources, so much more than us. We just can't do this. Now they're bringing guys from North Korea, right? This is really becoming a world war. You have different nations fighting in this territory, and Ukraine definitely cannot deal with this, and they have not much else to do.
Are we seeing the start of a path towards the end of war? After nearly 3 years of fighting, death and destruction, Ukraine's president has admitted reluctantly that his country may have to relinquish territory to Russia. In an interview with a French newspaper, he struck a thoughtful tone.
We cannot give up our territories. The Ukrainian constitution forbids us to do so, but we do not have the strength to recover them. We can only count on diplomatic pressure from the international community to force Putin to sit down at the negotiating table.
Yeah, buddy, that's going to be difficult because the truth is that Zelenskyy, Ukraine, they don't have the real support of the international community. Yes, money was sent. Sure, okay, yeah. Money was sent, some kind of weapons, and a lot of posturing and pretending to give a damn when no. So you're dealing with a situation in which the country simply cannot keep Russia out of their territory. They've been there so long. They've been installed in these parts of Ukraine for so long that you just can't push them out, right? And no, the international community will not come to actually help you. It's not going to happen.
He's come to Brussels, the heart of European diplomacy, to meet NATO and EU leaders.
I think it's a very good opportunity to speak about security guarantees for Ukraine for today and for tomorrow, as you said.
Right.
Well, almost everything said. So, but it's really very important that to use these 2 days in Brussels to meet with all our partners.
Alongside him, the head of NATO, talking about a peace deal, but clear that Ukraine must be able to negotiate from a position of strength.
Very much high on the agenda is to make sure that the president, his team, Ukraine are in the best possible position one day, when they decide so, to start the peace talks.
Crimea and the Donbass are the areas Zelenskyy would surely have to give up. It might sound a simple solution, but to many Ukrainians, the idea of ceding territory is now unpalatable.
And the thing is this, the problem is this, guys. Zelenskyy said guarantees. That is a key point. Why? Because you're dealing with Putin. Putin is not a normal president. Putin is not a normal prime minister. It's been the case for many years now that most politicians that you can think of, even all over the world, you usually did not see this thing. You did not, and yes, of course, there are exceptions, and yeah, you know how this goes. But in general, most presidents from most civilized countries don't go invading their neighbors. You don't cross that line. Yes, you have established borders in most places, and invading a foreign nation, that is usually a big no-no. That is not Vladimir Putin. Putin does not give a damn about those borders. He really does want to rebuild the Soviet Union. All of that bullshit about, oh, we're so worried about... No, he was never worried about Poland invading them. He was never worried about Estonia invading Russia or Ukraine. That it is not a serious proposition that, oh, we're worried that, yeah, Germany will invade us. That was never really a thing. The guy wants to rebuild the Soviet Empire, and for that, he really wanted to go for all of the country. Remember, he was going straight for Kiev. They actually reached Kiev. They were just kicked out. And they were kicked out to the same line in which they've invaded for, what is it, 8 years now? This been going on All of these territories that have been annexed, this was a while back. This was not 4 years ago like the guy was just saying. Now, the problem that this guy has, the problem that Ukraine and Zelenskyy has is, okay, I want to be reasonable. I want to end this madness. I'm losing a fifth of my country, which is going to be a tough one to swallow for a lot of people that have bled and died so as to defend their nation. But we're giving up that. What is keeping this guy from invading me next year or next month? Okay, I sign yet again. I sit down with Russia and US negotiating this as we did before, and it did not matter, specifically when Ukraine gave up their nuclear weapons, which they had, because when they were still part of the USSR, they had nuclear weapons, and so as to give those up, they agreed with Russia and the United States as an intermediary there dealing with this and guaranteeing the integrity of the territory of Ukraine then, that if they gave up their nuclear weapons, they would be respecting the territory. Russia would respect them, and U.S. would be guaranteeing that it was so. That did not happen. So, what on earth could possibly make Putin stop from continuing with this again, right? So he signs away. He signs away all of this region, right? You give away a big chunk of your country for what? For peace. For stopping the madness, all right, you do that. What if it goes on again? I mean, you sign off on that, they establish themselves very, very well here, and then they go at it again and again, because someone has to defeat the far right, someone has to stop the fascists, so who's stopping that? That's why the guy is asking for NATO membership, in terms of we have a real commitment that if we're getting attacked yet again, you have to come up to our defense. Because if not, what's the point? And it is very difficult to... What can you give Ukraine so as to say, okay, you agree to peace, you agree to giving up your territory? What guarantee do you have that now you actually have peace? This reminds me of what a Ukrainian, some Ukrainian soldier, right, tired-looking dude in the front lines was saying that we don't want peace. We want to win. Why? Because peace means we lost. Peace means we've been defeated and we lost our country. That's how they see it. And are they really wrong? I don't know. It has to be something that, if this is agreed, and this is where Trump will have to make a very strong case of, you know what, this is what we signed, but if you go after the guys yet again after this has been agreed, then it's gloves off, bombs all over. Oh, but that will be the start of World War III because Russia has nuclear weapons. So this really does not end, because you're dealing with a thug. You're dealing with a bully with Putin. And the only language these guys understand is brute force. So I don't see things getting any better. Some kind of agreement will probably be reached, but mark my words, that guy will go after it yet again. See you next time. Take care.